Hey everybody, Dr. Oliver here coming at you for backintelligence.com, and today we're going to talk about the TFL, the Tensor Fascia Latae, and we're going to talk all about what it is, why it becomes problematic, and we're going to give you a couple things you can do to deal with it. If you haven't done so yet, click the subscribe button to get access to videos as we put them out. So your TFL, or that Tensor Fascia Latae, is a muscle on the front side of your hip right here. So it's not a giant muscle. About this big, and if you want to get landmarks for where to find it, you're going to look at the little bump on the front of your hip here. That's your ASIS. It comes off of there, over through here, and it attaches down as a little bony attachment down in your femur, and it also attaches and ties into your IT band, which runs down your leg here. So again, it's about this position here. If you were to put your hand like over where your pocket would be, that's your TFL. So what does the TFL do? Well, it does several actions for the body. It does hip flexion. It helps and assists with hip flexion. It can work on hip abduction as well, which is the leg to the side. And then it also can work on internal rotation of that lower leg. So it does those three actions, but it's also largely responsible for a large source of hip stability, especially in a single leg stance phase. So it's a really important muscle, but it becomes overactive and really tight on a lot of individuals. It can cause a lot of pain. Well, the question is, well, why is that happening? Well, generally it'll happen as a compensation for weaker muscles in the hip. So we might see it because of weaker muscles in the smaller glute muscles on the side, the glute medius, the glute minimus. You might see compensation due to the hip flexor because, again, it associates with all those motions and it's trying to do too much. But again, being a smaller muscle, it's going to fatigue out or get tighter quicker, and then you're going to start to feel that discomfort. The TFL is also associated with a lot of back pain. Well, how is it associated with back pain? Well, we talked about it. The TFL is a hip flexor, right? So it actually flexes the hip. So what that can create is an anterior tilt of your pelvis because of its attachment points. Well, when you get anterior tilting of the pelvis, and that creates back extension, you can get loading of the low back, which is going to contribute to low back tension and low back pain. So a lot of times we have to address the front side here in order to deal with that back pain as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over a few things that you can do to kind of work it out yourself. So we're going to go over a couple massage techniques. One's going to be with a ball, one's going to be with a roller. And then we're going to discuss what you really need to do, which is really going to be to activate those other muscles that are too weak and that the TFL is compensating for. So we're going to have Leon come out. We're going to work on a little self-massage with the ball against the wall, and then we'll do some foam roller on the ground as well. All right, so we got Leon here. He's going to use a lacrosse ball to release that TFL. We're going to do it against the wall because it's a safer way to do it and it's a little less aggressive. So you're going to find that ASIS, which is that bump, bony prominence right on the top of your ilium there. That's where it comes off of, and you're going to go down into the side a little bit, kind of where Leon's going here. Yep, and a little bit lower there, perfect. And you're going to find it's a soft pocket there. It might be a little tender just rubbing on it, and then you're going to go up to a wall and just apply that pressure. So you're going to look to find that tender spot just below that ASIS to the outside a little bit, and you're going to apply pressure, and you're going to hold, and you're going to breathe. Again, breathing is really important with this type of release work. So we breathe in, we breathe out, we try to get that muscle to relax. We can go up to a minute, but if it releases 10, 20, 30 seconds in, that's fine. Go to the other side, try the other one. But you want to get this to release. Good, just hold that spot, and then you can switch and try the other side. So again, you've got to find that landmark, that ASIS, that bump that sticks out from your hip right there. Go down and a little bit to the outside of it, and you'll find in there, you rub around, you'll find some tenderness, and you just hold that spot as well. So we like to start with the wall because it's more controllable and it's less aggressive. Once you feel comfortable with this and once you feel like this isn't too much, then you can go to the floor, which is what we'll do next. We'll show Leon, he'll use the foam roller on it. All right, so now that we've tried to release it with the lacrosse ball on the wall and we feel like that it's not doing as much as it used to, we can go to the floor. It's a little more aggressive because all your body weight's going to be on the roller. So we're going to use the foam roller. Again, we just got to locate that ASIS, which is that bump right on the front of that hip right there. And we're going to go down into the side just a little bit. You kind of feel in that region, you'll feel a tender, softer spot in there. That's your TFL. And we're going to get that on the roller. So we'll have Leon kind of line up to the roller with the one leg. He's going to put that spot right over top of the roller there. He's going to use that left leg to help drive him up and down. He can use his arm as well. And he's going to roll around, kind of torquing his body a little bit, and he's going to look for that tender spot. If it's extremely aggressive and really uncomfortable, just sit there. Don't roll on it. Try to take some of the weight off even with your foot or your forearm. You want to be able to tolerate it. You want to be able to breathe and relax. It should let go and feel better at some point. As with any of this soft tissue work, if you're holding a spot and it's just excruciating pain and never gets better, that's not doing you any good. You want it to release. You need to get to the point where it releases. If it's tolerable, you can start to roll. So we're gonna have Leon roll a little bit if he feels comfortable, just going up and down. Again, it's not a big area, going up and down, maybe about 6 inches or so. You're not gonna necessarily roll over that ASIS or that bump. You stay below that and go down the kind of front side of that hip there, and you just roll. You can roll for about a minute or so. And again, you're trying to look for that area to get better and release a bit. Again, if this feels too aggressive, back off and do the wall a little bit longer until that feels easier. If this feels too easy, which some people find that they don't get enough pressure, you may be able to use a ball on the ground. So you could place a lacrosse ball in that area or a tennis ball and again, get at it. But again, be cautioned that that's extremely aggressive and you don't want to be pounding on it too hard. It needs to release. So try these techniques, see if you can get some release out of the TFL and get it feeling a little bit better. But next, what we need to talk about is, well, what are we going to do about it? Because it's tight and it's sore because of compensations. So now you've self-released the TFL. Now it's time to address why it's tight to begin with, right? We talked about it, it's compensation. So typically you're going to see it because of those lateral hip stabilizers, sometimes because of the core. Just in general, we need to work those muscles to increase the stability of that hip joint and the low back, and therefore take some tension out of TFL. So you'll see links in the description below for the glute exercises, whether they be the clamshell, the side-lying leg raises, your bridges, and then just some of the general core work that can utilize to turn on good muscles so your body feels more comfortable, more stable, and then it lets the tension go on this TFL as you work on it. So try these exercises along with the releases that we just went over and see if you can get release and relief from your TFL pain and your low back pain as well.
All right, thank you so much for joining us today. We hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure you like it, as well as subscribe to this YouTube channel for more videos just like this. Also, research shows that you need to strengthen your core if you want to alleviate some of that low back pain. And not only that, but you need to make sure that the exercises that you perform really target those deep core muscles, and you need to make sure those exercises are safe for your spine. Now we have a free PDF that we'd love to send you with some of the most effective and safest core exercises that you can do from your home. So if you'd like to get that PDF, there's going to be a link to it somewhere here on the video or down below in the description. Just go to that page, enter your email, and we'll send you that free PDF right away.